Hi, everyone. Thank you for hopping on. Sorry about the technical issues with our Google Air, whatever. I'll get it figured out, I promise, before next time. But this is Natasha from Stunner Squad, Star Diamond Coach. I just want to go over, it's September 17th. So if you don't already know, the PIO Challenge Pack and the 3-day refresh are what are on sale this month for $140. The PIO Kickstart, which includes PIO and the 3-day refresh, is on sale for $180. We have a lot of new announcements, things that have been happening in the last month or so since we've definitely put our calls on hold for the summer. One of those things you saw me post yesterday, Shakeology now has its very own podcast. I'm really excited about this. Darren Olean, who is one of the co-creators of Shakeology, he's going to be doing lots of different segments on here. It's something that's really for us coaches so that we can educate ourselves and know what exactly we're talking about and kind of get inspired and know really how important Shakeology is and what it can do for everybody and why everybody should be on it. So when you're talking to a customer that says, what about Slim Fast, or what about this, or what about that, you can feel empowered to know what the difference is and why Shakeology is so much better. So if you haven't already checked, look for it. It is currently only available on iTunes podcast. Excuse me. So I'm hoping that that changes so everybody has the option to check it out. But do that, because between the specials and Shakeology, that should really help push you towards the end of this month, which if you hit Success Club, you have already seen we have the largest Success Club prize or gift that we've ever had in the history of Success Club. So if you hit Success Club 5 this month, you will earn P90X, P90X2, P90X plus the entire series, all three of them, which is almost a $300 value, which is awesome. Also, if you haven't seen, there has been a couple of changes actually to Fixate, which is Autumn Calabrese's 21-day fix cookbook. So go to your back office, check out and see what those are, because whether it's you that's using them or your customers, you'll want to know what the updates have been. It's nothing major, just little changes, like different containers, how they're being used. And like she changed a few of the containers around, added some, took some out for different recipes, changed some of the nutritional value and content, and I think a few of the recipes slightly. So just take a look at that. It is in the back office. And the last thing that's in there, if you haven't seen, if you were not able to make it to Summit in Nashville this last July, all of the workshops were recorded and they're now in our back office. So you have the opportunity to feel like you were there and to learn everything that we learned. So take advantage of that, because there is a ton of information. They're a little long, so you'll want to plan for it, and you don't have to watch them all at once, but definitely like jump in and learn, because knowledge is power. I want to take a minute to just go and recognize a few people. We have a few coaches who are already at Success Club, which is awesome because it's just the middle of the month. Jessica Laska's at 6, Louisa Plotkin's at 6, Jenny French is at 6, and Katie Miglor is at 5. So congratulations to all of you. Everyone else, if your name wasn't called, it is not too late. It is only the 17th, so you still have almost the entire half of the month left. So whatever you were doing in the beginning of the month, if you were messaging, if you were inviting, if you were doing everything that you should have been doing, follow up. That's all that you need to do. Just don't give up, because I have pulled from Success Club 0 all the way up to 10 plus on the last day of the month, which I don't recommend doing because it's really stressful, but it's possible. So just push for it right now. If you haven't been working your business, if school took over, whatever happened, I know it's crazy time of year, but I promise you, put in the work, because what you do right now this month is going to set you up for next month, which is going to be harder than this month, because it's just getting to be that time of year where people are busy and the holidays are coming. So you really want to make sure that you don't stop working right now. So I will just kind of go in tonight. What I want to talk to you all about is investing in people. So I heard this story yesterday, and it was one of those, like, kind of gave me goosebumps and like made me really think. And I thought, this is just kind of perfect, I think, right now where we all are as a team and kind of with where everybody is. It is a tough time of year. So I just wanted to share the story with all of you. So the story it was about a boy who lived in this village in the country of Ghana, which is over in Africa. And he lived in this poor village. And he had decided after all of these years, like he kind of grew up and said to everybody, I want to make a difference. I want to help everybody. I don't want us to have to live like this anymore. So he told everybody that he was going to go off and figure out a way to find help for everybody. So whether that was going to be to learn a trade or to just find help or get a job or whatever he could do to bring it back to his village. So he ended up leaving, and 7 years later, he returned. Everybody was ecstatic because he'd been gone for 7 years. They hadn't heard from him. They had no clue what he was doing. Everybody that was left behind was just thinking like, oh, he's going to come back and be rich and he's going to bring all this money, or he's going to get us out of here. And they just couldn't believe when he came back. So everybody kind of gathered around him and welcomed him, and they were so excited. And they finally said to him, so what did you bring? Like, what do you have for us? Like, what is going to change all of our lives? And he kind of smiled around and looked at everybody, and he opened up his hand. And they kind of all looked at each other like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, you were gone for 7 years and you're bringing back something that fits in your palm, and that's going to help this entire village. And so they looked at him and said, what is that? And he said, it's 3 seeds. And they were so upset. Like, you were gone for 7 years and you brought back 3 seeds. So a lot of people were upset with him. A lot of people just thought like, oh, pat on the back. You did you tried. It's okay. Like, we'll get over it. We've survived. We'll continue to. And he kind of looked at everybody like, what is wrong with you? I brought back 3 seeds. Like, this is amazing. Do you know how hard I had to work for this? And they just couldn't understand what it was that he was envisioning or seeing or whatever. So he believed in himself, and he had the faith that he knew exactly what he was doing. And he took those 3 seeds and he planted them, all 3. And he took care of them. He watered them. He nurtured them. And what happened was 3 cocoa plants grew. And from those 3 cocoa plants, he took off more seeds, and he took them and he planted them and he watered them and he nurtured them and he took care of them. And then all of his family started seeing, oh my gosh, there's more seeds. So they started joining in, and they were taking some seeds and they were planting them and they were watering them and they were nurturing them and they were taking care of them, and they continued to grow. And people were coming from other villages and passing by and going, oh my gosh, what are you guys doing? How is this happening? Can we get in on it? So they were sharing those seeds and saying, here you go, take yours, plant them. So they were taking them back to their village and they were planting them. And the next thing that you know, Ghana is overflown with cocoa plants, and today is the #1 producer of cocoa in the whole entire world. From this one boy who was in a poor village and decided he was going to make a difference with 3 seeds. And everybody thought he was crazy. And now everybody in the world is pretty much eating their chocolate from Ghana. So are you looking at me going like, what the heck does this have to do with Beachbody or with coaching or with me? I get it. But what I want to explain to you is that man took those 3 seeds and he planted them, and it became a ripple effect, right? It didn't just affect him anymore. He was the only one that believed in the beginning, but he did it anyway because he believed in it. And then his family started seeing, and his friends started seeing, and then his village started seeing, and they started sharing, and everybody kept sharing. So he touched one person who touched another, and they touched another, and the next thing you know, the whole world is eating cocoa because he believed in it. So every time that you post, every time that you send a message or you have a conversation with a potential customer or a coach or whatever, that's you planting a seed. That's a Beachbody seed that you are planting. And it's something that could change someone's life. So the first time that you talk to them or the first time they go through their news feed and they see that you've posted, it might not be the time that they dive in and they're ready, right? But you planted the seed and now you have to make sure that you're watering it and that you're nurturing it and that you're taking care of it. So you have conversations with people. You continue to talk to them. You make sure that you follow up with them, because what happens is as you do this, their trust in you, their trust in the product, it grows. So eventually, as you're taking care of all of your seeds and your cocoa plants, it blossoms into something, right? That seed blossomed into chocolate and the cocoa and things that we can actually use and touch and feel and make money off of and help other people with or whatever. So when your potentials finally say, I am ready, that's your cocoa plant blossoming. So what you need to make sure that you're doing is that you're following up with them. And once they decide they are ready, please don't forget about them. You can't just sign someone up and have them be a coach or a customer and forget about them. Because if you forget about them, if that's a plant and you don't continue to take care of it, it's just going to fall over and right? It's not going to continue to thrive and continue to produce anything. So what you need to do is make sure that those seeds that you're planting, you take them and you continue to nurture them even after they've signed up, even after they're your coach, even after they're your customer. Because what you want to do is make sure that as you're nurturing them, you're teaching them to do the same exact thing with their seeds. You need to be able to duplicate the process. So I'm sitting here right now and I'm teaching all of you everything that I know, hopefully, so that you guys can turn around and do the same exact thing. Because as everything that I've learned from my upline that's come down, I've had to take it all and figure it out and implement it into my own business and into my own life and teach my coaches how to do the same thing. I've had to listen to them. I've had to get to know them. You can't just forget about somebody and think that their business is going to just happen, right? Because it doesn't work like that. So you need to realize that when you plant these seeds into people, it's not just for a success club point. You're actually making a change and an impact on them. It could be that someone's losing 10 pounds, 25 pounds, 100 pounds. It could be that they're off medication because of you. It could be they were depressed and in a really dark place. And now they've found friendship, they found confidence, they have the ability maybe to pay for groceries this month with Beachbody money, like in cash. Maybe it's a step further than that, and they paid for their cell phone bill or their car bill or their mortgage. Maybe they've paid off all of their credit cards. Maybe, just maybe, you've now helped somebody who's earning 6 figures, retiring from their job. That is something that's very possible with Beachbody for you, for everybody that you are talking to. So when you take the time to plant those seeds and you're actually investing into them, you're not just, planting the seed and walking away or forgetting about it, but you're actually coming back and you're nurturing it and you're taking care of it. You can change people's lives, you guys, and not just their lives, but people you don't even know or think of, because it's such a widespread effect. I didn't know half of you on this call, and I never would have if I hadn't planted the seed and continued to nurture it, right? Because my coaches signed up people who signed up people who signed up people. I can't even see all of you in my downline in my back office anymore, which is just kind of crazy, but so amazing, because just think how many lives we've changed. That's insane, whether it's financial or emotional or physical or health-wise. Like, it's an amazing thing. This business is a people person business, right? It's not about the money, really. None of us got into this going like, oh yeah, I'm going to become a coach because I'm going to be rich. I mean, we saw it, we heard it, but I never thought it was possible. I really, like, not for me at least, right? So that's not why I became a coach. I became a coach because I wanted to help myself and I wanted to help people. But in order to do that, you have to be ready to invest in them. You have to trust them. You have to believe in them, and you have to want to help them. The money that we can make here, it's incredible. And I mean, there's no ceiling, right? You can earn as much as you can imagine. But that's not why we're here. So taking that time to really invest in people and invest in someone and to teach them everything that you know and to share your story with people, and then once they're ready, to share your strategies with how you become successful, whether that's with your weight loss or your health or your family work-life balance or whatever it is that you know that you can help someone with. That's what it is that will help all of us in the end. You have to add value into other people's lives in order to add value into your own. Because we all know that none of us got here in our lives or in our businesses on our own. And this is definitely a business that is built not on our own. But I wouldn't be anywhere if I didn't have any of you. We all work together. And so if you don't plant these seeds, if you don't talk about what it is you're doing, if you don't actually invest in your relationships with the people that are listening to you, the people that you're reaching out to, the people that are seeing your story when you do share it, you're just not going to go very far in this business or in your life. Like, you have to be willing to invest in others, because that is just what's going to push you forward. And that's how you learn. That's how you grow in life and in business. So please make sure that when you are, in right now, I know a lot of people are kind of freaking out because it's the middle of the month and they're not hitting Success Club yet. But I don't want you guys to focus on hitting Success Club. What I want you guys to do is focus on helping people. Because when you start to change that focus from, oh my God, it's a number, it's Success Club, like this is what I have to do, this is my goal, and you focus instead on helping people and talk to people as though you really want to help them and you've invested in them and your relationship with them and you've gotten to know them and what their struggles are and what they need, people feel that. There's a sincerity behind it. And when you do that, your cocoa will come from it. So I want you guys to make sure that you are investing in the people around you and not worrying about Success Club, okay? Does that make sense to everybody? Is that helpful? Does anybody have any questions about this, about anything that's going on right now? No? Okay.